a house, I couldn't practice on making a home. And so I found out that
well, Shema Israel Adonai Lochanu Adonai Chadav Tabekol Babekabe Kol Navshekabe Kol Meodeka. My name is Rabbi Humphrey, and this is the Rabbi Network, and I believe that God is going to move in your affairs. May you be blessed even as you watch this message. Yes, may you be blessed. But before I get into the message for the day, try as much as possible to actually subscribe to this channel. Hit the subscription button, my dear. Just do it. Just do it and do it and do it again. And also hit the notification bell so that anytime when we load messages, you will actually get it. Today, I'm taking you straight to the Potter's house. Straight to the Potter's house. Bishop T.D. Jakes. And this time around, Bishop T.D. Jakes was with Sarita Jakes, the First Lady of the Potter's house. And they were discussing about, model marriages, but they were ending in a subtopic was winning at home. We have a lot of homes that are fighting themselves. They are fighting. People are losing the battle at home. I'm telling you, we have great entrepreneurs who are winning out there in their corporate world, but they are losing at home. We have great career women who are winning out there, making it big in their corporations and their CEOs and all that, but they are losing the battle at home. It's not easy. People who have lost their battle, their home match is the home match is no joke. We have pastors who are winning in their churches, in their chapels, and everybody's saluting them. General Overseer, G.O., big man, great man of God, and they are winning out there and they are losing at home. There are secretaries there, there are police officers, there are army men who are winning wars and all that, but they are losing at home. And this time around, Bishop T.D. Jakes and Sarita Jakes are on the same stage, and they are teaching us how to win at home. How to win as a wife, how to win as a husband. It's an interesting thing, and I know that you can't wait to hear this. Let's get straight into it. Winning at home. Bishop T.D. Jakes and First Lady Sarita Jakes.
Winning at home implies it's a fight.
Absolutely.
You can't win if it's not a fight. And let me tell you something. I know you sitting there looking all cute, grinning, sitting beside each other. But I know you don't grin every day like that at home. Can we be real for a minute? You can love somebody that gets on your last nerve. I mean, your very last nerve. My wife has a box in her bathroom, Mama's last nerve. Okay, they can get on your very last nerve. It is difficult to hold it together, and I'll tell you why. Because you care.
That's right.
Because you care. I can have somebody weird at work, or what I deem as weird, because I leave. My time at home is so little that when I do get home, that's a big deal. And what happens is when you're miserable at home, you run from the house, which is exhausting, which means you create work to avoid the fact that you're not winning at home. Can we be real for a minute?
Please.
And when it's stage time, we walk out on the stage. Praise the Lord, everybody, praise Him. Oh, praise the Lord. Oh, glory to God. Good to see you. But the reality is, it's hard to raise your children. I don't care whether you're in the pulpit or in corporate or in business. We are not winning at home. We're making the money. We're climbing the corporate ladder. We're in the C-suites of America. We're breaking in and out. We're starting businesses, we're starting companies, we're doing stuff, but it is hard to have a stable relationship while you go after dreams. Because everybody wants more of you, and you don't always have enough to go around. Demanding careers of any kind require great focus. And great focus is at the expense. Kids require great focus. The more children you have, I was talking to somebody, baby. She said to me, I made it through the hard part. She said, they out of diapers and stuff. I made it through the hard part. I thought, child, don't you get up here and teach that. You see how everybody laughing at that? Everybody laughing at that who got gray hair, dyed hair, or somewhere in between. They know you ain't seen nothing yet. You got to make it through adolescence. You got to make it through all kinds of stuff that these preachers are testifying about, that they were drug dealers and on drugs and selling drugs and crackheads. That was at an earlier age and stage of life. You got to steer through that traffic feeling like their self-discovery is your failure.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
So whatever they experience, you blame yourself. And so if you were busy, working, building, doing, going, evolving, then you regret that. If you're at home all the time, you say, well, maybe I didn't give you the right advice. Maybe I. Everything that goes wrong is not about you. Everything that goes wrong is not about you. My wife had to learn every time I come home, and every time I come home and I'm not talking, it doesn't mean I don't like her. It doesn't mean that I'm mad at her. It doesn't mean every time I flip out, freak out, get weird, act strange, it is not about you.
Aww.
So you don't need to fix nothing. You don't need to change anything. You don't need to fix me. It is not your job to fix me. It is not my job to fix you. It is my job to love you broken. Because if I can love you broken, maybe I can love me broken.
Absolutely.
If I can't love you flawed, then I really don't love myself flawed. Talk to us.
Wow, you said a mouthful. You know, when you said that it's not your job to fix me, nor mine to fix you, the thing that I realized that was most important to you was that I fix our home. He gave me a house, and it wasn't what you wanted to give me, but to me it was the world. He gave me a house, and then we went to Goodwill, and we went to Salvation Army.
This went a long time ago.
Yeah, this wasn't, but you know, it was
I
a long.
I just want to put it in context.
But it's relevant to where we are now.
Absolutely.
Because if you hadn't been able to give me a house, I couldn't practice on making a home. And so I found out that wherever you are, wherever your heart is, that's your home. So to me, I had to make certain that wherever you went, you felt like you were still in a home, safe environment. And we didn't, let me tell you, I was teasing Sarah because she was one of our WIC babies. She and Cora were our WIC babies. Jamar and Jermaine were our Cost-Right diapers with duct tape around them because they were falling apart. You don't get to be a home because you've got everything that you need. You get to be a home because you are committed to creating a space of peace and tranquility, not just for somebody else, but for yourself. I often wonder why David was on the rooftop and peeking at Bathsheba. And I thought, well, the scripture says it's better to be on the rooftop than dwell in the house with a brawling woman. Dr. James, help me. Could it be that he was on the rooftop because Michal was raising?
That rhymes.
I mean, you know, they were celebrating. David, he was out killing lions and bears and just going forth, and the women were dancing, and he came home and his wife was complaining because he was celebrated. How often is your house not a home for either of you because of the rivalry? The voices from the outside have crept through the windows and made you discontented. And this is your friend. You're my buddy.
Yeah,
You my You are. And I want what's best for you, even if it's not me. Now, I'm going to say, I'm not going to leave the potter's house. I'm going to sit in the balcony and roll my eyes and say, but he can preach, but he ain't nothing. But let me tell you, you've got to concentrate on making your house a home where you're comfortable with yourself. Some people, you don't even like you. You don't even like yourself. Not what you see in the mirror, but what life has done to you. Has broken your house down where the walls are leaning, the steps are collapsing because you don't like you. And so you make it miserable for everybody around you. You act like the couch is broken all the time. They ask you, where can I sit? You don't have anywhere to sit because you're so discontented. And life has dealt a lot of you deadly, lethal blows. I get it. But let's do some renovating. Let's do some renovating. Babe talks about us not having anything, and to me, that's why we're here. Because it's not the things. You know, it's not the things. I like it, but I don't have to have it.
That's the truth.
I like it.
She don't care.
I like to get gussied up, and the Ripleys are here. They gave me my first designer purse. All of those are things, but who I am, things didn't make me who I am. It was the struggle, Pam. It was the no lights and no water and broken down shoes. One of his ex-girlfriends gave me $5 because she saw runs in my hose. Do you not understand the opportunity that you have at this leadership summit to make a home? If you leave here, if you leave the conference, if you leave the arena, one of my childhood friends is here. I wish you would jump up real quick, David. David is here. His mother is 103 years old. There he is. We went to elementary school together. His mother is 103 years old. And I call her once a month.
Miss Cross.
Mrs. Cross. I call her once a month, not because she needs anything from me or I need anything from her, but it keeps me grounded. It reminds me that I was in the 8th grade before we had an indoor bathroom. Don't talk to me about Yves Saint Laurent till you had to go to the outhouse in the middle of the night. So this is Sarita. This is Sarita. And all of this gussying up has not shaken who I am. I know who I am. And so God gave me the opportunity to give this man a home. So when he went on the road, I wrapped Q-tips up in aluminum foil because I didn't know hotels had Q-tips. He needed to feel like he was at home. I started a little company and I named it Dexter Jakes Home because it's important to me that wherever you are, that you have a sacred place where everything around you can be chaotic, but you can center yourself and dwell in the secret place of the Most High. You've got to bring your mind in. You got to close your mouth. You gotta be still and just know. Sometimes you don't have to tell everybody what you just know. Be still and know.
You're right, right.
All right, I'm gonna sit on back, but I just wanted, I get so saddened by the disassembling of families and marriages. It breaks my heart because we take 30 minutes to say the most important words that you'll ever say in a commitment, for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, forsaking all others, richer for poor. Then this new generation came along and we want to make our own vows. You know why? Because it's easy to break. It's easy to say, when I saw you walking across the water in the middle of the night, shut up. Better or worse, sickness, health, richer, poor, forsaking all others, I'ma cling to him.
And that I know we old school, but it works. Cleaving isn't easy. Cleaving isn't easy. If you watch people on a motorcycle, cleaving isn't easy. I'm not here to make you feel guilty. If you got divorced, getting divorced, go and get divorced. That's not what I'm saying. Cleaving isn't easy, especially in a turn. Listen at me. You're riding on a motorcycle, which I don't do, okay? Torre does. God didn't call me to that ministry. But if I went riding with him, you all would suspect things about us. Because I would be wrapped on that child like glue. Okay. Number one, I didn't even have a childhood, so I never rode a bike, a regular bike. So a motorcycle is out of my purview. I was raised by a dying father. I learned how to run a kidney machine while other people were riding a bike. And by the time I got up some age and some size and he died, it seemed silly. He died at 16 to go back and learn how to ride a bike since I missed my childhood being a caretaker. So this is a really good illustration to me, only because I would squeeze him until he turned red and passed out driving the motorcycle, because cleaving, for this cause shall a man leave his mother and father and cleave unto him a wife, and they shall become one flesh. Cleaving is especially difficult on a motorcycle in a turn. I've been teaching this for years. We are losing our relationships, not just with our husbands, but with our sons and our daughters in the turn.
True.
Whether the turn is adolescence or midlife crisis, whether the turn is promotions or menopause.
Well,
talk to me, people. Come on, talk to me. Nobody is talking to us how to stay. Watch this. Y'all ain't gonna like this.
say it.
How to stay when you are not happy. You don't stay married to somebody 50 years and be happy every day. It's not always whether you're unhappy with them. You can be unhappy with life. You can be unhappy with what happened at work. You can be unhappy with them. You can be unhappy with the kids. They can be unhappy with you. Everything isn't about your happiness. Cleaving in turns. It's the turns of life. An upturn, a downturn. The death of a parent can wreck your marriage.
Absolutely.
It can wreck your entire marriage. The death of a sibling. Anytime life twists, the motorcycle turns. If you don't cleave, this is not a feeling, this is not sex, this is not affection, this is not getting down, this is not making babies. I'm talking about lock in because it's getting tough. Family crisis. We have had all kinds of family crises. Like anybody else, somebody talking about our children, how wonderful we are, how beautiful they are, and they are. They're amazing. I have never been more proud of anybody in my life than I am my children. Not just the ones y'all clap for and see on stage, but every last one of them. I told my oldest son, I'm not going to ask him to stand because he hates to stand. I said, I'm so happy to have you here. To have my children around me is a reward. Yeah, it's a reward. From my oldest son to my baby girl to all the baby boy to all my girls in between.
Yeah.
I love all of them. They're all different. They're all funny. They're all crazy. They make me laugh. They get together. We can throw a party all by ourselves and turn it out. We can turn it up. We can turn it out. And we can turn it over. And we can throw down. And yet we are a support group.
Say.
If you stop seeing family as family and see it as a support group, it changes your expectations, because some of your expectations were, now I'm going to date myself by saying this, were born out of Harlequin novels, love of life.
Yeah.
You saw things on TV that were scripted. And you have become professional at telling each other what they ought to be. It's like me trying to tell her how she ought to have a baby. I don't know nothing about that. But I did. I don't know nothing about that. I said we was having a baby. In reality, she was having a baby. I was watching. I was going downstairs in the hospital eating hamburgers and stuff like that and coming up, we having a baby. Oh God, we having a baby. She wasn't running down there getting no hamburgers. I was holding her hand as if she squeezed my ring into a torturous position in the labor ward, you know, and I'm talking about breathe in, breathe out, you know. She said, shut up. Shut up. You know, her head spinning around like the Exorcist. You lose each other in the turn. Stop fixing your spouse. Stop it. Stop pastoring your spouse. Stop analyzing your spouse. Stop using scriptures to manipulate them into what you think they ought to be, because I married you to be my wife, not my pastor. I told my wife, I said, I know you saw this robe. I preached in robes back then. I said, there's a man in this robe. You are not marrying this robe. I'm not marrying you as a prop. There's a man, there's a dude, there's a guy. There is a Negro up under this robe who needs attention, okay?
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on, fellas, don't leave me out there by myself. Y'all so phony. Don't leave me out there by myself. And what I mean by attention depends on what age I'm at.
That's true.
When the young men shout it, they think attention is sex. When old men shout, they think attention is respect. You could sex me like crazy, but if you don't respect me like I'm a man, and that goes both ways. Let me tell you something.
What?
There is nobody in this world I respect more than you.
Thank you. Thank you.
There is nobody on this planet I respect more than you. And I respect her. She had never called me out my name in my life. Never, ever, under any circumstance, ever called me out of my name. Disagreed with me? Yes. Didn't appreciate what I had to say? Yes. Has her own opinion? Yes. Set in her ways about her opinion? Absolutely. She is not a pushover. But she never disrespected me as a sign of strength. She never disrespected me when I was disrespectable. I'm talking about strength. Strength isn't what you get angry about and flip out about. Strength is going through turns and hard places together and then balancing out and continuing. This is true.
Yep.
This is not therapy. This is not counseling. This is not marital counseling. We got people who can do that. This is just experience.
Only.
It's just experience. Now, my wife does premarital counseling. She's trained to do premarital counseling, but this is just experience of almost 42 years at the end of this month. 41 years, I can't keep up with. 41 years. 41 years. 41 years. 41 years. 41 years is almost like 41 different seasons.
That's true.
41 different seasons. Everything's a different season, different stage. What I needed when we got married versus what I needed now is totally different. What she needs now versus what I need later is totally different. But at our core,
Yes.
she's still Riri.
I am Riri.
Yeah.
This cross calls me Sadrinky. Yes.
See, I mean, this is what I love. Look at her. My wife, fellas, this is what you gotta know. Inside any woman, I don't care what age she is a little girl.
Yeah.
And I don't care if her hair turns white. I don't care if she gains a little weight. If you can find and love that little girl, and if she can feel safe enough not to lose her little girl, don't lose your little girl, because that's what I married. What's your little girl? I didn't marry your degrees. I didn't marry your hoop. I didn't marry you because you can play the organ. My wife can't play the organ. She sings a little bit. She told me, she said, I can't do none of the stuff Pastor Wild do. I said, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care about that because you're not marrying the robe. you're marrying a man.
Absolutely.
She got a business, she has a business, she has her own business, she's an entrepreneur, she's successful. It is authentic to who she is. Yes. It is Sarita Jakes Homes because she is into stabilizing the home. It's more than candles, it's more than pillows. It's being a home for our children. You know what I told all my children? I don't care what you do. I don't care where you go. I don't care what you become. I don't care how bad it is. I don't care how terrible it is. You can always come home. You can come home broke. You can come home sick. You can come home afflicted. You can come home shattered. You can come home broken. Do not let your ministry make you be the pastor of your house when you need to be the father of your house. Your kids don't need a preacher. They need a daddy. They need a daddy. They need a daddy. They need to know that they can tell you anything, whether it's scriptural or not, and not compromise your love. Stop using your love to barter them into behavior. That's manipulation. It's witchcraft. Anytime you withhold your love from me because of my humanity as a way of manipulating me, you're a witch with scriptures. By the way, there are male witches. You cannot manipulate your love and hold it back from me because I made a mistake or I made an error or I went sideways. This is where you teach the child how to love shattered people, because if we don't teach our children how to love shattered people, we won't be able to teach them how to love themselves, because we are all shattered in some way. How dare you leave me because I'm broken? Because as you carry your crippled self out of the house,
exactly,
I want you to understand you every bit as broken as I am. And you can run from me, but you can't run from yourself. So we two broken people coming together in a sense of wholeness only because of Christ. Only because of Christ. Only because of Christ. The wholeness that we have is coming from Christ. The human that we have is coming from us. And the holy and the human cohabitate. Even when I'm by myself, I am holy and human.
Yep.
I am spiritual and human, or I wouldn't need to bathe, or I wouldn't need to wash, or I wouldn't get diarrhea. I am human. Oh, we don't like to talk about real stuff, but this is real stuff, and this is where we're losing the battle at our home. And so we're becoming more entrenched in our work and our careers and what we're doing in life and our church building and all of that. But listen, you can't sleep at church.
No.
You gotta come home sometime.
Yeah.
Thank you for 41 years of making it easy for me to come home.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We are complete opposites in a lot of ways and exactly alike in other ways.
Yeah.
She's an introvert, I'm an extrovert. She can't wait to get off the stage so she can go into the seclusion that she nurtures and festers in. My wife incubates in spa-like atmospheres with soft music and great candles and big beds with fluffy pillows and can sleep like Lazarus. My wife can sleep like Lazarus. My wife sleeps so good that I looked up under the covers to see if somebody was in the bed. Because if I stay in the bed that long, anyway, I've gone too far. I'm back on track. You don't have to pray. I'm back. I got it, kids. I ain't gonna say nothing else. My wife act like there is gold in the bed. She gets in the bed and can have a total experience. She can sleep all night and take a nap. I can be tired, eyes red, bags under my eyes, and get up stumbling out of the bed because I got to go do something. I don't even know what it is. And if it ain't something, I'll make something up to do because I got to get out there and do something. I get energy in the crowd. She gives energy in the crowd. I refuel in the air. I refuel in the atmosphere. I refuel by what I do. She refuels by who she is. There's no change in that because there's nothing wrong with her being different. Loving somebody who's different from you, if you're not careful, you'll think it's your job to make them like you. What I do is watch you.
You watch me?
I've been watching you for 41 years.
I've been watching you longer.
And you can take that any way you want to take it, but in this particular case, I'm talking about watching your behavior, watching how you manifest strength, watching how you handle tired, watching how you face challenges, watching your body language, your signals, your signs. And what she had to learn about men is we speak in sign language. And this is very tough because women speak in words. You're very verbal. We speak in sign language. We will give you a signal. And if you miss the signal, we will be angry about you missing the signal that we never said. Okay? And there you are trying to figure out what is this about? It's because we talk in sign language. We communicate in sign language. Having the emotional language, not just to verbalize a complaint, but to verbalize a good feeling. It's difficult for us to do because we were trained. Big boys don't cry. Stand up, be a man. Take it like a man. Hold it in, suck it up. We train men to be silent and then crave them to speak. And that's why we die quicker than you, because we don't talk. We just disappear. We internalize. We just disappear. After 41 years, about 30 years into the marriage, I realized I married my opposite to balance me. I was attracted to her calmness, to her steadiness, to her stability. I'm like ping, 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 ping. I'm like all over the place. What we gonna do next? I wanna go to I'm gonna take over Disney, and I'm gonna build Disney. I'm gonna stand on the top of Six Flags, and I'm gonna preach on the top of Six Flags, and I'm gonna holler down at the crowd, and everybody's gonna be standing there. My wife is none of it. She's like, She laughed because she know I'm telling the truth. The Bible said, dwell with her according to knowledge. You have to know her. And you can't know her if you don't watch her. And you can't watch her just to have sex with her. You have to know that like you, she is a composite and a compilation of everything she's been through. And even though we talk above what we've been through and we teach above what we've been through, we still are a product of what we've been through. And we have triggers and we have issues and we have situations. And sometimes, though you are very verbal about your complaints, ladies, you're not verbal with your compliments. You are quick to verbalize what's wrong, but if you want to have a relationship that survives even with your kids, you also have to verbalize what's right. I like that. I like you. And my wife told me, I like you in blue. I got so many blue suits. I got light blue, dark blue, electric blue, iridescent blue, spring blue, winter blue, blue pinstripes, blue polka dot, blue tie. She says she liked me in blue. I never paid no attention. I don't think I look the same in every color. Don't make no difference. But she says blue is my color. My whole closet turned blue. My wife gets dressed up. She said, I do not care how many people say I look nice on Instagram or Twitter. The only opinion that matters to me is what do you think? And when I tell her she is fine, she grins and she sachets out of that house. She be going out of that house like, yeah. You see? See? Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Parenting is a calling with no expiration date.
None.
I don't care if my children get 90. I will always see them as my child. I don't care how angry I get at them. I will always find a way to get over it. I can get into an argument with my children and I will never pull out all my guns. Now they might disagree with that because I got some cap guns that's pretty tough. But to pull out my AK-47 and let you have it like you're my enemy, I would never use that even if it means letting you win. Because I learned that as a parent, your words leave scars so deep that when the emotion is over, the scar remains there. You ain't nothing. You're stupid, and you ain't never gonna be nothing. That comes out of emotional rage. Then the emotion goes away, but the scar and the echo stays. I didn't know that. I learned that. I learned to be careful, even when I'm angry. So if we start going at it, I back out.
Please.
I back out, because I have the tongue of death. If I turn it loose, let me tell you something, I don't know why, but I'm not scared of none of you sisters. I know y'all got some mouth on you, but I can hang. If they turn me loose and cut off these cameras, I can go with you wherever you want to go. No, I just want you to know, I am not one of those men who can't figure out nothing to say back. I will go up under that weave and snatch them fake face eyelashes off your face and tell you talking about being phony. Let me back up. Ooh, that's just a sample. Be ready. You jump on me, you gotta come ready. Now the Holy Spirit constrains me, but just because I didn't say nothing back, don't mean I didn't think anything. I will pick which knife I'm gonna cut you with. I will cut you up, high and low. Why? Why would I turn that kind of, no, listen, that kind of weapon of mass destruction turned on somebody you love is suicide. If I cut her like I could, I am cutting me. She is my body. If she cuts me like that, she is cutting herself. You saved that AK-47 mouth you got for somebody who broke in the house in the middle of the night, and you go rogue on them. You go rogue while I'm fighting them, because I'm going to be fighting. I'm going to be fighting and praying, but I'm going to be fighting and interceding. And I told her, be hitting them with lamps and scriptures. And you know why? We're a team. We can sort out our feelings later, but up under attack, we're a team. We're a team if she's sick. We're a team if she's broke. We're a team if she's hurting. We're a team if she's in a crisis. We're a team when she's backed up against the wall. We're a team if she's in labor. We're a team if she's bleeding. We're a team if she's throwing up. We're a team if she got diarrhea. We're a team if she's in a wheelchair. We're a team if she's walking on a cane. We're a team if she's trying to get up the steps. We're a team, we're a team, we're a team. And if you want to see her be violent, jump me. I wish you would. She turns into somebody I have never experienced in my whole life. And the feeling of knowing that she got my back like that she will go to war. She will go straight hood. I was in an argument with a...
You know, it is, folks, it's quite interesting how these two actually work together on the stage, and this one speaks, and this one continues, and this one brings support, and this one continues. And man, and I loved it, the point where Dexter Jakes was actually telling the audience about where they started from and how low she's been and what she's gone through, and up to this stage where the Lord has brought her and the family and all. Man, God has blessed this couple. God has blessed this couple. God has blessed. And there is an emphatic word that they keep on saying, that marriage, you can have a wedding within 30 minutes, but marriage takes 30 years. 30 years to build. Let's keep on listening to this couple.
I'm telling you, she don't let the nice voice fool you. She will go straight rogue on you. I'm arguing with a dude, he's 6'2", I'm 6'2". We done faced off like anything might happen, you know, because that's down in there. Guess who leaped in between us? Out of nowhere, I felt wind go past me. She jumped up and said, no, you don't talk to him like that. She got a fist ball there, and she done backed up like this. And I was so shocked. I was like, I couldn't say nothing. I was so stunned. I had never seen this come out of her in all of my life. But I found out, let me tell you something, and I've trained animals, I've had watchdogs and protect dogs. There is nothing as violent as a female watchdog, because this is a fact. The male dog will have strength, but that female watchdog will bite you. She will attack you. She will go for your throat. And together, our property is safe. Our children are safe. Our grandchildren are safe. Our church is safe. Our vision is safe. Two are better than one. If you have somebody to touch and agree with, I don't care how bad you are by yourself, and there's some bad sisters in this world, but you're going to be better if you let me have your back. I don't care how strong you are as a man. There's something that comes out of a woman that will make you better than you are by yourself. So the art of winning at home is the same thing that we offer to the church people. Sometimes, guys, we're better to the saints than we are to her. You got no grace for me? You got no forgiveness? No mercy? For me? Wait, you got grace for your sons? I'm somebody's son. I'm my mama's baby. Love me like you love your sons. Love her like you love your daughter. I don't care what she do. I don't care what she did. You can be mad, I understand that. You can leave, I understand that. You can walk out, I understand that. You put your hands on her and I know I will turn into something. I go right to prison, pick my own cell block. I will be in prison tomorrow. It ain't gonna be that long. I don't care how much time they sentence me. I ain't got to stay that long no more. I will shoot you in the bottom of your feet. There's not a woman in this room that doesn't want to feel protected. There's not a woman in this room that doesn't want to feel protected. If you don't have somebody in your life that will jump in the ambulance, that will give you mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, that will beat on your chest to bring you back, I don't care what he did wrong. I don't care how he messed up. If at the bottom line, that when bad get to worse, if he wouldn't beat on your chest to wake up your heart, to see your eyes again, it's not the one. And if he was that and he stopped being that, you got to take responsibility, at least in part, at least find out, what did I do? It might not be you, but you gotta check that box and create the conversation, because I'm gonna tell you something, he won't talk. Sometimes he can't talk. Sometimes he doesn't know how to talk. Sometimes he's not confrontational. But the fact that he's not confrontational doesn't mean that he doesn't have an aspect. So when he does start talking, stop defending. I'm going to give you something that this is a mantra I'm trying to live by. I'm not just talking about marriage. I'm talking about kids. I'm talking about grandkids. I'm talking about the things that matter most. Warren Buffett said that if a man gets to the end of his life, it doesn't matter how much money he makes. It doesn't matter how many shares he holds. If he is not surrounded by the people who loved him, by the people who remember the things that happened in his life, he died broke. Because you will never see a hearse being followed by money. You can't take none of that stuff with you. U-Hauls don't follow hearses. Kids do. I can't even look at my kids. Kids do. They get right in behind hearses. Grandkids do. When you're going into surgery, who's gonna be around your bed? You invested in your career? Are you invested in your children? I don't care whether they're in the church or not. I don't care whether they finished college or not. I don't care whether they did what you wanted them to do. I don't care if they went out there and did something different that you don't approve of. I don't care if they had drag. I don't care if they broke, busted, and disgusted. I don't care if they got a girlfriend and a dog and slept with a cat. When you get COVID and you're hooked up to a respirator, let me tell you what girlfriend is coming in there to wipe your head. Be glad to see them. Don't be so self-righteous just because their sin is different than yours that you mess around and alienate your children and lock them up. I'm talking about winning at home is not about winning on stage. Winning at home is about winning at home. It's not about winning on stage. It's not about using your kids as props in your play. So if they don't go to church, it's still my son. If they do go to church, you're still my son. If you sing in the choir, you're still my daughter. If you preach, you're still my daughter. I don't love Sarah because she can preach. I don't care whether she can preach or not. I love Sarah because she's my child. I loved her in dirty drawers. Sorry. Performance-based love is not winning. Performance-based love is not winning. And we're tempted in the church to try to script our children for a photo op. And then if they're not photo ready, you're embarrassed by somebody who would die for you. So what we're saying as we close today is that God wants you to get the victory, yes, in the building fund. Get the victory as an entrepreneur. That's wonderful. Get the victory and get your doctorate degree. That's wonderful. Get the victory and climb your mountains. Get the victory. The rumor that I don't support women in power is insane. My mother was a woman in power. My wife is a woman in power. My daughters are women in power. You could not know my daughters and think that, because both of them got opinions about everything. I have no problem with women in power. Half of my executives are women in power. My CFO is a woman in power. My new CEO is a woman in power. I don't have no issues with women in power. I was preaching women when other folks said women wasn't supposed to preach. I founded Woman Now. Get out of my face. Just because somebody says something that you don't like, don't let people tell you who somebody is that has got 30 years and 40 years and 50 years of support. I founded Woman Now and Lou. I raised up women that you never saw and never heard of in your life. How dare you say that I don't support women in power? It's a lie from the pits of hell. That's why I don't defend it, because a lie always got an expiration date, but a truth is going to live forever. I have women, hear me, I got your back. I'm not in your face. I may not call you. You may go through a crisis, and I may not be up in your face because I don't think that it's appropriate for Keon to be calling my wife all the time. He can call her, he can say hi to her, but if they whispering on the phone in the middle of the night, I'm going to have a problem with that. And God knows I love Keon, but I don't want him whispering, talking to my wife, even though there's an age difference. Shoot, he might be the pool boy. You got to protect your territory. But rest assured, just because I don't call you don't mean I don't love you. Just because I don't call you just means that I stay in my place. I stay in my place. Are you staying in your place? Are you standing your ground? You're talking about buying land. Are you standing your ground? Your house is your ground. It's the ground wire. Are you standing your ground? Are you going to give up your ground wire?
No.
Somebody holler no. Go get your daughter. Go get your daughter. I don't care if she's rude and disrespectful, be the bigger person. Don't pull out your AK-47 on her just because you got mad. Sometimes I have to bite my tongue almost in two, because my gut reaction, if you come at me wrong, or I perceive it to be wrong, or it's got the wrong voice inflection, because of the multitude of diapers that I changed, I participated. I changed diapers. I burped people. I carried my grown son on my back. He had surgery and he was in pain and he was crying. He's 6'4". I'm old. I put him on my back like he was a baby because he's my child. And I was patting on him and trying to help him because I love him. I flew from Nigeria to get back home, to get by my oldest son's bed because he had a heart attack. I'm going to be there. Why in the world would I cut you up? Why would I turn my weapons loose on you, even if you turn yours on me? I'm not saying I won't defend myself, but I won't go where I could go. Because once you go where you could go, either them toward me or me toward them, you can't get that back. Once you start really letting me have it, don't you think I'm sorry it's gonna make me get amnesia. Because you know what I'm gonna be thinking, so that's how you really feel. Which one of you is the real you? I'm talking about internal conflict. This is hard. This is hard. What I'm talking about is hard. Winning at home is hard. The devil would rather you win anywhere than win at home. Can you imagine being Jesus' mother? She raised him, she hid him, she moved. She went down into Egypt to keep them from killing him. She carried a controversial baby in her womb, even when Joseph was going to get rid of her. And then she followed him all the way to the end. And when she came to church, they said, your mother is at the door. And Jesus said, who is my mother? How you think that felt? Yet when he is bleeding on the cross, she is standing there watching him bleed on the cross. Not just as a person in need of redemption. She was saying, he's your Lord. He's your Savior. He's your wonderful counselor, your kinsman redeemer, your day star, your bulwark, your trumpet, your peace. He is the consolation of Israel. But to me, that's my baby on the cross. For you, it's who's going to sit on his right side and who's going to sit on the left. But that's my son on the cross. May I never know what that feels like. I don't even want to feel that. I want to live and die and never see my children bleed. Some of you have lost your children, and you know the pain. And sometimes we find out too late how valuable people are. And we love them better dead than we do alive. And we come to the funeral screaming over things we should have said when they were living. And when the Bible says neither give place to the devil, it means territory. And family is territory. I can't imagine after 41 years. I can't imagine. I'm not perfect, I'm flawed, I'm weird, I'm strange, she peculiar. I can't imagine living without her. I can't even think about it. I don't need her talent, I don't need her career, I don't need her money. I need her. Anybody who thinks she's a prop, you don't know me. My wife passed out, I almost had a seizure. Paramedics in our bedroom. They said, you can fall in the car. I said, the devil is a lie. If anybody gonna be in this ambulance, I'm gonna be in this ambulance. In case she need me, say something. Life is hard. It takes both of you to get through it. Not perfect you, broken, flawed you is still valuable. If you messed up, you still got value. If you blew it, you still got value. We got to teach this in the house, because if the children don't see this, if they see how easily you can throw people away, when you need them, they're going to throw you away. You're going to die in a nursing home by yourself because you didn't teach stability to children. My son tells me, I'm going to take care of my mama because I saw you take care of yours, and I saw you feed grandma in the middle of the night. And he said, it's in my nature to be a caretaker because you modeled it in front of me. Don't you be surprised if you get old and you don't have nobody by your bed because you never invested in winning at home. I don't care what you build. I don't care how many millions of dollars you make. I don't care if you get $1 billion. $1 billion can't wipe your mouth. $1 billion can't clean your behind. $1 billion can't take your temperature. $1 billion can't see about you if you're in need. $1 billion will not argue with the doctors and say, no, that's my daddy, and why is he dirty, and you gonna do something about that. So figure it out. Because I believe that family is the gymnasium that God gave us for love to exercise in. That's where you learn to build up muscles and resistance, and reality necessitates people who end up by themselves don't always fare well. They don't always get the best health care. They get tricked by the mechanic. They have problems with the house and the realtor. Two are better than one. I was negotiating for a Volkswagen, and I got up from the table, and the man said, he caught her by herself. He said, why don't you say something to him? This is a good deal. And you said, that right there. When I'm doing what I do best, she shuts up. When she's doing what she does best, and roles depend on value, not gender. Some people make money, but they don't spend it well. Other people spend it well, but they don't make it well. Find out what your spouse does well, what your children do well, and put them in positions to shine, and put your ego to bed. This is not just about you. This is not your show. This is us and we. So, winning at home, let me tell you something. I have built churches. I have bought property. I have bought hundreds of acres of land. I have negotiated billion-dollar deals, I can now say. I have certainly negotiated million-dollar deals. I have built churches from the ground up, took care of my mother with Alzheimer's. I've gone through all kinds of stuff. Building a family is the hardest thing I have ever done in my life. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying it's worth it.
It's worth it.
I am not saying that I am easy to love. I am not saying that I am perfect. I'm not saying that I always give you the right answer or that I always have it together. I am just saying that I'm worth it. And if you don't see that, I'm worth it, then why are we doing this? If you have devalued me down to being insignificant, if in all these years I have not proved in some way to be valuable to you, how dare you discredit my worth with your ambition? You can still climb up without making me low. I will clap for you.
I know.
I will create stage for you. I will open doors for you. I will die for you.
I noticed.
I will do anything for you except let you disrespect me. Because if you ask a man how he spells love, it's R-E-S-P-E-C-T. It's not Teddy's. I'm gonna stop because my daughter over there said, all right, Daddy, because she know I will go there. It's not thongs. Okay, all right. I won't go down the whole list. I'm not preaching against none of that. I didn't say that. The Reverend didn't say that, honey. What I'm saying is, you spend so much on what's on you, but what makes things last is what's in you. Am I making sense? That sister that you can't stand, you need to fix it.
Fix it.
That mother you ain't talking to, I ain't saying you got to bring her all the way into your life, but you need to make peace with that. Because some of her is in you, and you cannot get it out by hanging up the phone. Everybody stand. Because we're going to the front lines of fighting for what matters. Whether you got grown children or little children, you are training them with values that you will reap when you're old. This is old folks' perspective. You got the young folks' perspective earlier. I was taking care of my mother, and my mother, who taught me almost everything, from alphabets to energy to determination to tenacity, had Alzheimer's so bad she couldn't tell an orange from a banana. And I would come home from preaching on the road, get ready, all that stuff y'all talking about. I was coming home with applesauce, trying to get mama to swallow. Literally, in my house, while I was building the potter's house. And in her final moments of lucidity, the doctor said, if you get where you cannot think anymore, who do you want to make decisions for you? And I have two other siblings. She loved all of them, but she reached around them and said, whatever he says, do that. In that moment, I suddenly understood something I didn't understand. I thought she was raising me to think for myself. She was raising me to think for her. Oh my God, that's two different things. I thought, you mean I could end up in a situation where my life's decisions are in the hands of my children? You better pick up that phone. You better go to making some oatmeal and sitting up and having some dinners and eating some hot dogs and washing some cars, because one day, I know you don't like her husband, you don't like her boyfriend, you don't like the in-laws. Shut up. She can't make potato salad. Who put relish and okra together? Shut up. You're training the last voice that will make decisions about you. Be sure you made enough investments to reap a harvest. The other night I came back to the room, I was dog tired, and I was fishing through my phones and looking at the reports and seeing how everything was going. And I stumbled up where my baby boy had posted the hologram. And a lot of people say this, but he wrote on the bottom of it, he said, my father is the GOAT. He said, fight me. And it wasn't what he said, it was who said it. This is worth it. Be anointed, but it won't replace this. Be gifted, it won't replace this. Be learned, but it won't replace this. Be rich, but it won't replace this. I warn you, if you don't fix your house, you will suffer beyond what you imagined. Even if they make you sick and get on your nerves, divorce is painful. Not speaking to your child is painful. Losing your mama and the doctor's asking you questions about what's running in your family is stupid. You don't get a second chance to correct this. You have more mercy for the people you serve than the people you love. The people you serve can tell you anything, and the people you love can't tell you nothing. And I'm challenging you. How many of you perceive this to be the word of God? It's raw, it's real, it's not professional. It's just what I learned in 41 years. I'm not out of school yet.
That's right.
You're so crazy. I'm not out of school yet because of the turns keep coming.
Oh, God.
And just when I have mastered one stage, I'm a master, a rabbi at one stage, and then I hit another stage and I'm a fool again. So this is my mantra. I got this from Andy Young through John Hope Bryant. I adopted it. I'm trying to live by it. I haven't mastered it, but I remind myself of it every day. And I want to leave it with you. Speak without being offensive. Listen without being defensive. And always leave your opponent with their dignity. Andy Young is 90-some years old. It brought him to the 90s when most of us die in our 70s. Say it with me. Speak without being offensive. Do you believe you can do that? Good. So I had to repeat this almost every day. Sometimes on the spot in the middle of the day because the wrong person ran up on me, or because I have strong feelings about something, or because I was hurt badly by something you did, and my natural reaction is to be offensive. I tell myself, speak without being offensive.
Speak without being offensive.
Here's another hard one. Listen without being defensive. That's a hard joker right there. Because you right up here and you said something, I know what to say back, and I can't say it back, and I got to sit there and let you just go off on me. Maybe it's not hard for you to go against my nature. My whole nature. I start sweating, perspiration break out on my forehead, my lips start quivering, and I say, all right, speak without being offensive. Listen without being defensive. Watch this. Even if there is no resolution, always leave your opponent with their dignity. Say that. Always leave your opponent with your dignity. If there is no resolution, you don't have to decapitate me.
No.
Leave me like you found me.
I got it.
Because if you leave me, okay, without my dignity, don't be shocked when I come for you. Because you left me without my dignity. So we're going to rehearse this. Speak without being offensive. Now that means you're gonna have to go back and edit your Instagrams and all that stuff you said and go down in the comment section because you already messed this up. Again, speak without being offensive. Hard part, listen without being defensive. Don't let who said it or how they said get in the way of what they said. The way to listen without being defensive is to not let who said it or how they said it get in the way of what they said. So I am trying to listen without being defensive. So that means while they're talking to me, inside story, I'm having an argument. I'm telling myself, shut up. Shut up. Don't presume to know what they meant. Look at it from their perspective. Helps me not to be defensive, because when I look at it from my perspective, you're assaulting me. When I look at it from your perspective, I become a student of your point of view. Listen without being defensive. And always leave your opponent with your dignity. And I'm going to tell you why. God said to me, which is really what started the writing of Disruptive Thinking. He said, when you pray for growth, I will always answer with disruption. The more you pray for increase, the more you pray for growth, I will answer with disruption. Watch this. Next thing he said, do not allow the disruption to become a distraction. Because if you allow the disruption to become a distraction, this is not God, this is me. If you allow the disruption to become a distraction, you will think that solving the disruption is the victory. So I'm after something and you're talking about it. And I stop being after it to change your mind and fight against you being against what I'm doing. Then I allow you to become a distraction. So suppose I win the argument and I change your mind, I still lost what I was after. So I can't allow the disruption to become a distraction. I can't get into a Twitter fight while I'm closing a deal. Because if I win the Twitter fight and lose the deal, what do I get for changing your mind? Nothing. So I want to listen without being defensive, because that's a distraction. God said, when you pray for growth, I will answer with disruption. Don't allow the disruption to be a distraction, because in every, I hate to give it to you, but I'm gonna give it to you, and it led to the writing of the book. He said, in every disruption, I have hidden an opportunity. For every person who is living through a disruption right now, somewhere in that disruption is an opportunity. If it's nothing but an opportunity to be a better person, it's an opportunity that if you fail this test, there will be a deficit. Yes, you can live without me. I can live without her. It would be hard, it would be painful, but I could live without her. I lived 24 years without her. She can live without me. But it would be a deficit on my children, on my image and on me. She can live without me, but it would be a deficit. She would roll over at night and want to talk about something that only she and I remember. And even if she got biceps and triceps and all kind of stuff laying beside her, he don't remember. Yeah, and I put sugar in his gas tank too, so he can't go. But who was this for? Can you come closer to me? Before the Bible describes the church as the church, the first thing God creates is the family. The Bible says the family in whom all heaven and earth is named. When Jesus says to his disciples, when you pray, say, Our Father, he says it in part because he wants you to understand that we share the same Father. You may not look like me. I'm picking on you because you're white and you just happen to be standing here. See? Don't confront. You may not look like me, but we share the same Father. We're family. I may not speak your language. I may not cook chicken the way you do, but we're family. We are, the whole creation is family. If you're from the continent of Africa, holler at me. What are we fighting about? We family. Just because I moved across the waters didn't even want to go. Now I'm another people? If your child moves to California, aren't they still your child? We're family. I went to Africa to find out where soul food came from. African food is some variation of soul food. Yams and greens and pepper soup and fufu. Fufu, man. Jollof rice. Yeah, I know the deal. I'm Cousin Joe. Yeah, we're family. Asian, Latino. My Latinos in the house, make some noise. I see you, I feel you. Buenos dias, I'm out of Spanish, take it, that's all I got. Muy bien. Poquito hablos. I speak little Espanol. Te amo, I love you, I got it. The little I speak is to honor you, to recognize you, to say that you matter, to say that you're important because you are my family. You are my familia. Familia. You familia. Yeah, I am with you. I am with you. Brazil in the house, make some noise. I hear you, Brazil. We are family. I sent my son over there for 3 weeks. He came back speaking some Brazilian Portuguese and speaking it fluently, or better, not fluently. His wife speaks it fluently. She's Brazilian. His wife is Brazilian. She has become my daughter. I love her. We are family. Almost every Brazilian that comes to Texas goes to my church at least once. Canada in the house, make some noise. One of the most beautiful places. I shot movies up there. I ate up there. I had a time up there. I loved it up there. Our Tory program went to your parliament to introduce a change in the policies for re-entry in Canada. I love you. I am with you. I have an office in Canada. I have outreach in Canada. I care about Canada. Europe in the house, make some noise. Yeah, it's 5 of y'all. I preach in London, Paris, yeah, Great Britain. I have an office. in Great Britain. I reach around the world. I'm global. We are family. Congo. We are family. Kenya. We are family. Ghana. We are family. Nigeria. Nigeria. My great-great-grandmother left your country, an Igbo slave. We are family. Look how God blessed his children this week. Now we're going back to the front lines.
Yeah.
I've got a daughter recovering from a terrible divorce, emotionally distraught. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. She's been through trauma, shock, horror, disgust. She wrote that book, Spiritual Warrior, and the demons from hell came out to fight her. And nobody can pray like Cora. I wish she had to be in Houston this week, but I wish you would go on her page and tell her you love her. Would you do that for me? Just tell her you love her. There's all kind of blogs and all kind of lies, and all while they're shooting at us, we can't say nothing. Half truth, half a lie. You can't defend yourself, because if you defend yourself, you're gonna make it bigger. So you have to hold your peace and let the Lord fight your battles. And after you've suffered a while, he says, I'll establish you and make you perfect. You understand what I'm saying? So my greatest weapon is my silence. But when the time is right, yeah. You're going back to the front lines, and all of us have a story. Most of us have multiple stories at the same time. But we're better equipped. We got away. We got refreshed. We got fed. We got fed before everybody starts pulling on us and calling us and drawing us and texting us and yanking after us. We got some me time. Me time isn't always a spa and a jacuzzi. We got fed. We got fed. We got fed. We got fed. Nona, we got fed. Thank you for feeding us. Thank you for pouring into us. Thank you for teaching us. Thank you for talking to us. Thank you for using your gifts in the house of God. We got fed from you. Yes. Mama, they've been hearing from me all week. I never thought I'd meet a mother that I would put on the same level as my own until I met you. And it wasn't just when I met you, but as we did life together. As I watched what you value most, I'm a better person because of you. My wife had a pinched nerve, L3, and she couldn't feel in her fingers, and they had to do back surgery to correct it. And when she came out of anesthesia, all the kids were wrapped around the bed, and I was too. And she woke up and she started touching them in the face. And the first thing she said is, "I can feel my children." I backed off against the wall because that was a mama moment. That was a womb moment. That was carrying them in my body moment. If I got my feelings back, I probably would say, "I want to eat." I love y'all kids, I love you, but you know. My wife act like feeling the face of her children was heaven. And she touched all of them in the face, and they were crying, and she was crying, and I was crying, and I was watching the beauty of motherhood. That I got to see that twice in my own mother and in you. As a mother in Zion, as a strong woman, as my mama would say, no offense y'all, a strong black woman, a Nubian queen. Yeah. I want you to pray over your sons and your daughters. There are sons in here that miss their mama's touch. It used to be that we only had father hurt. Now there are many sons in here who have mama hurt. Miss her, misunderstood by her, long for her, buried her. Trust her, can't find her. You've heard enough from a father's voice. I've tried to be a father as I fathered my daughters to women I couldn't even see. Texted me and wrote me that when I laid hands on my daughter, I laid hands on them. When I described the Father's love, it filled your heart while it was filling hers, because you never got to hear that. I meant that from the depths of my soul. I model that in all of my flaws and imperfections. I'm not trying to pass myself off as nothing special, but one thing I have right, I love my children. I'll never be jealous of them a day in my life. And whenever you say, "Our Father," let that relationship be healed, because it is possible to have a father's love without being abused in a father's lap.
Well, all too soon we come to the end of this message, winning at home. Now, I know that if you listen to this message very well, you have every cause to win your battle at home now. Don't be that CEO winning at the job market. Don't be that trader winning at the job market. Don't be that business executive winning at the job market, and you come home and your home is in shambles, and you are fighting, and you are killing each other, you are cursing each other and all this. Don't be that kind of person. Learn how to win at home, and you will surely be blessed. God richly bless you. My name is Humphrey, and this is the Rabbi Network. And I believe that you're going to be blessed with more messages that we're going to give. If you've not subscribed, please do well to subscribe and also hit the notification bell. And I'm telling you, God is going to really, really help somebody here. Later out, as bye for now.